Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fitness Education Series produced by the Australian Fitness Academy. It's like progressive overload for your brain. I'm your host, Tom Rock, and today's episode I'm going to talk about the problem about fad diets, or the problem with fad diets. I haven't done a nutrition one for a little while, so I thought it's a good opportunity to just jump back to nutrition and have a chat about fad diets, and I think the problem with them. And when I talk about fad diets, generally things that are within the media or social media, um, diets you will have potentially heard of, things like Atkins diet, the keto diet, paleo, carnivore is another one, any sort of detoxes that are sort of marketed, I guess. Intermittent fasting is potentially another sort of fad diet. These diets that are, I guess, marketed to the public or general population, usually in terms of losing weight or weight loss or tools to lose weight, I guess, or things you can implement to lose weight. And there's, as personal trainers, or if you're doing your Cert 3 and 4, in our scope of practice, we definitely can't recommend fad diets, or we can't recommend diets. Our scope of practice is all about educating our clients about the healthy eating guidelines, the 5 food groups, and discussing how to eat a healthy, balanced diet based on the recommended guidelines from the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. So, and these fad diets, obviously, the thing with fad diets is they generally are restrictive. So we'd be eliminating certain food groups or certain foods, which as personal trainers, we're not allowed to recommend that. But also in terms of general health, it's probably not always optimal for clients to remove food groups from their diet or their nutrition intake, because it can lead to deficiencies in certain macronutrients or micronutrients or vitamins and minerals. So there's a whole lot that happens underneath it if you go, oh well, I'm going on a diet, or I'm doing keto or paleo, or I'm doing intermittent fasting. A whole other range of things can come up in terms of being restrictive. So the idea behind generally going on a diet is to lose weight. And I think a lot of these diets will claim that it helps with weight loss, but any diet that puts you in a kilojoule deficit is going to help you lose weight. So these diets, no matter how they claim to help you lose weight, the only way they do help you lose weight is based on the fact that you're going to be in a kilojoule deficit. So, and that's what happens if you restrict what you can intake. So if all of a sudden you go on keto, for example, and you're not eating any carbohydrates, a large portion of your kilojoules previously to go on your diet were probably from carbohydrates. Rice, breads, pastas, potatoes, all sorts of stuff was probably a portion of your diet. If you completely take them out and you're not putting any other sorts of kilojoules back in, eating more of other things, you're going to lose weight based on the fact you're in a kilojoule deficit. I think the problem with fad diets is they're generally restrictive. So one, it can sort of lead to nutritional deficiencies, whether it's nutrients, minerals, all sorts of things, micronutrients. So they can lead to deficiencies. If you're in a big kilojoule deficit based on the restrictions of what you're trying to eat, you might feel different mood swings, hormone levels will change, all sorts of stuff. Motivation to even train might reduce just because you're lethargic and don't have the energy, so you're not being well sustained. And they're generally not sustainable in the long run, which I think is probably one of the main problems I see with fad diets. Is it's all good and well to quickly lose some weight because I'm in a kilojoule deficit, but as soon as a client stops their diet or goes back to eating how they used to be eating, or general day-to-day habits, that weight is going to go back on because they haven't actually developed any new habits to help them keep the weight off long term, or developed any healthy approach to nutrition just isn't a lifestyle. All they've done is change their lifestyle for a period of time, which, due to the restrictive nature, they're probably not going to be able to sustain for a long period of time. So then when they go back to eating just like they know how to, all the weight starts to go back on. So as personal trainers, to educate someone about how to eat a well-balanced diet without being restrictive is really important. So that means in the long term, they're not sort of rebounding where they go on a diet, lose a lot of weight, then eat normally, gain a lot of weight, then go, oh crap, I've put on a lot of weight, I gotta diet again. So they're just going up and down, which is a bit of a cycle of fad diets. You'll sort of jump on it short term, lose a lot of weight because it's very restrictive and puts you in a kilojoule deficit. But because you don't learn any good habits about portion size control or how to eat a healthy, balanced diet and include things like um, discretionary choices and enjoying meals out and things like that when you are not on a diet, you can put all that into a healthy meal plan, um, and you can teach clients to eat a well-balanced diet without having to restrict certain food groups, which is what personal trainers should do. Because in the long run, as they start to sort of achieve a healthier lifestyle, they're going to lose weight, maintain their muscle mass, and be overall generally healthier and happier rather than sort of crash dieting every now and then to lose a lot of weight and then sort of rebounding because as soon as they go back to their old habits, the weight goes back on. So these fad diets, while they can potentially people lose weight on them, it's only because they're in a kilojoule deficit, which you can get a client to a kilojoule deficit without needing to restrict food groups or go into the keto diet or the paleo diet, intermittent fasting. It works because you're in a kilojoule deficit. But if they just eat slightly less of what they're currently eating and maybe cut out some of the discretionary choices, then they're not going to need to do these radical sort of overhauls into their nutritional intake, and they can work on creating habits of something sustainable in the long run for the rest of their life. They can start to make good choices and eat a well, healthy, balanced diet without up and down nature of sort of fad diets, I guess. So a nice quick podcast just to sort of get my thoughts out there on fad diets and why I think they're not that beneficial, especially in the long run. There's better ways to sort of educate people on a balanced diet, and then the reasoning behind why they lose weight and how to lose weight in a healthy long-term goal effect. Not I need to lose weight in 3 months and then that's it. Because if you don't learn new habits and how to eat correctly in the long run, all you do is follow a diet. As soon as we rebound, we're just going to put that weight back on. But if we can learn what works in the long run, we can get our clients to be potentially a lot healthier in the long run. Anyway, guys, if you've got any thoughts on that, you've ever jumped on a fad diet, you've got some experience or some ideas behind it or thoughts, shoot me an email to tom@afa.com.au. Love to hear your thoughts. If you've got any questions or topics you'd like me to cover or get my ideas on, shoot me an email as well. Definitely able to cover anything you guys would like to hear. Other than that, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon.